Well, when Congress gets together, there can be some tense moments. Remember last year when the former New York Congressman George Santos, the Utah Senator Mitt Romney were caught trading words there on the House floor. Romney reportedly telling Santos he shouldn't be there following his federal indictment and House Ethics Committee report. Now let's look ahead to tonight, just a year later. What about Senator Bob Menendez being there? The Democrat from New Jersey, for example. Tuesday, earlier this week, Menendez was charged with obstruction of justice in a new 18-count indictment. Of course, prosecutors have been rolling out charges against him for quite some time now. I remember, Lauren, when this was a big story last year about George Santos showing up. Why is Menendez going tonight?
I just learned it was 18 counts. I thought it was 12. That's even worse. I mean,
it's a lot.
We will talk about this no matter what is the thing, because the charges are so extreme. It's bribery, obstruction of justice.
The Department of Justice says he should have registered as a foreign agent, which is saying a sitting senator is essentially a
very, very scary. But if it's an empty seat, people will talk about Menendez. If he's there, and he probably will be, because it might be his last State of the Union ever, they're going to talk about
more than half of the Democrats.
He's got every right to be there.
Oh, God.
As he walks on the Senate floor.
You don't think so?
Hold on. He has every right to be there as he walks on the Senate, no matter whether he's charged, indicted, whatever he's gone through. Under the Constitution, he is still an innocent person. Still an innocent person. He has all the rights and privileges of any other senator. So how dare
if you were his attorney, hold on one second. So if you were his attorney, you would make the case that he has the right to, and you would be 100% correct.
I don't have to be his lawyer for that.
But here's what I want to ask you.
He has every right to go to the Senate.
He has every right to be there.
That's right.
Should he be there?
Should he be there? That's a political decision for him to make. But he's an innocent person. Why shouldn't he go?
I'm sorry.
And if you were charged,
sorry, I jumped in on you, but go.
Here's what I would say. This guy, Democrats know, more than half of the Democrats that he's in Senate with have said he needs to resign.
That's their opinion.
When he goes tonight, I guarantee you someone like John Fetterman would be very happy to pull the same thing that Mitt Romney did, because he has disgraced the office. He has made himself a massive story. I'm sorry.
And
he's got gold bars. He's got gold bars and a Mercedes and his house.
He hasn't been proven guilty.
I just want to note that these are two Democrats.
Hold on,
these are two.
By the way, he was charged prior. He was charged
best thing about the
prior to this. He had prior charges, and he beat those charges. Just because the government says he's got gold bars.
Hold on.
I want to completely, because I don't want to get Menendez.
I'm going to walk in there with him. I'm right here to write him.
So to be clear, hold on, time out. Yeah. To be clear, these are two Democrats disagreeing with each other on the issue, and hence part of the problem, I guess, for Democrats on this.
Well, you're saying a legal issue, and you're not. But can we just not, let's not give Menendez any more airtime for a second?
Seriously.
The reason what you started this with that Palestinian thing at the White House, that is why he's talking about Gaza tonight, and because of the port, right there.
By the way, New York Post is reporting that Menendez will not run for re-election. That is a New York Post report at this time. Senator Menendez was asked about this earlier today. Would he run for re-election again? He did not respond. NewsNation has not independently confirmed, though we have reaching out to his office. And by the way, I should add, we reached out to his office, Menendez's office, asking why he would be going tonight, if he is, and what's the reason behind it. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.